I wish I would have done that. Oh, I have goosebumps right now when I say this.
I'm gonna get emotional.
All right. Hello. How's everybody doing today? My name is Brady. Thanks for joining. We are live now, just so you know. It's no longer a video. I'm real. This is real time. Hey, what's up? Thanks for joining today. So we're going to be walking about our campus, doing a tour. I have my mask around my ear. I'm going to be wearing it when I'm doing the tour. But right now I'm in kind of a secluded area. So just to address that at the front, I am going to be wearing a mask. Those are definitely rules we have in place on campus. I just kind of found a little hidden corner so we can start this off in a more friendly fashion. But thank you everybody for joining up today. Once again, my name is Brady. I'm an enrollment advisor here. We're going to be walking about our campus, seeing our lab spaces. This is our south building, or our main campus. We have quite a few different buildings. We won't be seeing all of them today, or any ones other than the south building, but this is where probably 90% of our classes take place, or 90% of our programs take place at least. And definitely if you're in any programs that use our other campuses, like the fire school or our photography lab or culinary kitchen, esthetician, hairstyling, all those places, you're still gonna have classes here on this campus. So hey, everybody, thanks for coming in. You may have an offer. That's also pretty cool. So maybe you're joining because you have an offer and you're thinking about confirming. That's super cool. We can talk about that process, and congratulations if you do. And thanks for joining up today. I also have a form that's going to be posted in the live chat on YouTube. Perhaps Logan's also with us today. He's on the chat service. Logan, if you want to post that up, that would be awesome. If you guys fill out this form, you will get a chance to win a $50 Amazon gift card. Can't beat that. It's only open to people in this tour today, so the chances are pretty good. So be sure to fill that out so that we know you came, so that you get your chance to win a $50 Amazon gift card. Some of the classes we are going to be visiting today too may have students in them. So fair warning, we might not be able to see inside all of the different lab spaces that we have, but we are going to check out as many as we possibly can. And if there are students, I don't want to bug them. They're studying hard. They're here for a limited time getting their hands on learning. So unfortunately, we won't be able to kind of go in and see what they're up to. But we will try and show you as much as we possibly can whenever we can. And we're going to go and visit as many lab spaces as we can. Right now, I'm in our Nova Chemicals Health and Research Center. This is our newest wing of the school. We have 3 brand new ones. And this is home to a lot of our health programs. It's home to our research offices. We also have research labs as we span throughout the campus here. We are number 2 in Canada for research, number 1 in Ontario. That's huge. So you're going to get to see where all of that groundbreaking research takes place, at least a large portion of it inside of our different lab spaces here. So anyways, that's what happens in this building. Nova Chemicals Health and Research Center, home to our health programs, home to some classrooms, some lab spaces, some student hangout spots, and it's also home to research. Then we're going to check out our athletics and fitness facility, and then we're going to cruise down to kind of the middle part of the campus, see some various parts of the school, like regular classrooms, cafeteria, all that kind of cool stuff. We're going to check out the Center of Excellence, where a lot of our technology programs take place. And then we are going to, actually the tech and trades wing is in between there too. Anyways, you're going to see it all. I don't need to go into detail, but hang out. Thanks for joining. Talk to us in chat, ask questions. I highly encourage you to ask any questions that you possibly have in the YouTube live chat. You can also ask through our live chat service on our website. So if you're on lambtoncollege.ca right now, in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen is a chat box. Open that up. Logan's right there. He does the same role that I do. He'll be able to answer some of your questions. And if it's something that maybe you want me to know, we can post it on screen and you'll get to see your question live on screen, and I'll be able to answer it for you if Logan isn't able to as well. And if you're on YouTube, you have chat. It's right beside the video. You can't miss it. Be sure to talk in there. We're happy to answer any questions. Just say hello. Let us know your favorite color. Let us know what's going on. All right, so we're going to kick things off. For everybody that just joined up, hey, welcome. My name's Brady. I'm an enrollment advisor. You are at Lambton College in Sarnia at our main building, our south building. It's our main campus. We're going to see all of our different lab spaces that we have in this building. We're going to be answering questions. We have a $50 Amazon gift card. Be sure to enter that draw. It's going to be posted in chat a whole bunch of different times. And if you're on live chat on our website, just ask for it. Logan will give it to you. So make sure to fill that out. All right, so once again, ask questions. Let me know what you're thinking. We're going to go see some lab spaces here. I'm going to mask up. Going to head out of this little secluded area that I'm in, and we're going to go see some stuff. So once again, I'm in the Nova Chemicals Health and Research Center. We're going to go see our massage therapy clinic. It's called the Clinic at Lambton, and it's where massage therapist students practice the skills that they learn. And I don't think there's anyone in here, so we should be safe. Yeah, looks good. Good stuff. All right. So right now I'm in the lobby. Yep, we're all good. This classroom's a little big, so sometimes I have to peek around the corner, make sure nobody's hanging out back there that I'm going to disturb. All right, so we're in the lobby. This is our clinic. It is set up to be exactly like an actual massage therapy clinic, so our students can get their practice and their practice hours here on campus. And we administer massages for students, staff, the general public, each other in the program as well. You're definitely going to learn on your classmates when it comes to different theories and practices you're going to get to learn. But this is a great place to start because our massage therapy program is fantastic. We have extremely high graduate success rates on the RT exams each year. We do very, very well compared to most schools in Ontario, but it's also pretty cool because any student in any program can get an hour-long massage for 10 bucks. You're not going to beat that anywhere, 10 bucks. Come on in, get a massage. We are in our massage therapy clinic. So lots and lots of semi-private rooms here. We're going to be touring around. You can see more beds, some skeletons, and we're now going to tour into our occupational therapist assistant, physiotherapist assistant lab. I am going to crack the door and take a peek first because there might be students in there. So let's see what's up. Yeah, we're not going to. Unfortunately, they have a class going on, so I'm not going to bug them. It's always awkward when I open the door and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I feel intruded on." I totally just did that. Anyways, our occupational therapist assistant, physiotherapist assistant lab space is right beside us here. It's a fully functioning occupational therapy lab, physiotherapy lab. We actually teamed up with OTs and PTs from our Blue Water Health Hospital network. They came in, they designed their dream lab, and we built it. So it's fully functional, exactly what you would experience in a hospital setting, what you would see and it's a fully operational clinic, just like our massage therapy clinic, except this one's has a little bit different equipment, especially for the occupational therapy side and the physiotherapy side. Their beds are a little different. There's also ice baths and stair tools and all sorts of different types of tools that we use inside that program. Fortunately, there's a class going on right now, our OTA PTA program, which is OPTA. If you're looking at the program code, that's what we often refer to it as, is an amazing choice. Super high job demand right now. So if you're looking at our OPTA program, thanks for joining. Unfortunately, I can't show the program or the lab space because some students are in there taking part in their practical learning, but we definitely have video of it and we will be showing it at future tours too. And then maybe at some point we'll be able to have you on campus and show you around as well. So I'm just heading upstairs. This is the part where I get winded and feel really embarrassed. But we are right beside our retail pharmacy. So I think there's a class going on in here too. Let me check. Kind of looks like there might be. I'm just going to open the door and see. Yeah, there is. So there's a lab in there. So the good news, this actually brings me to my next point. A question I'm getting all the time right now is, are classes online? Am I only going to be learning online? You can clearly see no, because the two lab spaces that I'm trying to get into now have students in there getting their hands-on learning, getting their practical experience. So that is still happening. College is all about hands-on learning. That's a huge part of most of our programs, if not all of them here. And that's still taking place. Students are in the classroom. Students are learning. It's a very, very popular thing to be happening right now. So every day we have students here. There's safety precautions put in place. 15 students maximum per class, social distancing, heavy sanitization, all that kind of good stuff. So it's still very safe. But question I get all the time, Am I going to be in a classroom? Yes, you will be. No matter what September looks like here, you will be in a classroom if you're in a hands-on learning class. There are some programs that are fully remote, but most have a hands-on component that you're going to be inside of a classroom. So you may be able to see in the window here. Oh, question. Are domestic programs and international programs held in different campuses? Great question. Yes and no. So we do have 2 other international campuses in Toronto, one in Mississauga, another one in Toronto. I think it's in York region. So yes, those are international only, but we also have a large selection of programs that are available here in Sarnia. So many of our programs do take place on this campus. Inside of our pharmacy technician lab, that's a very popular program for international students here in Sarnia. And this is one of those lab spaces. So this is used for both domestic and international programs. On this side, you can see it looks like a retail pharmacy. Exactly what you would see at Rexall, Walmart, Shoppers Drug Mart, that type of thing. Then on the other side, we have our hospital pharmacy. And that's set up a lot different than our retail pharmacy would be. My gimbal's acting a little funny here. Oop, you don't want to see my palm. All right, I have to extend my arm in a really weird way to see you guys right now. So yeah, the retail pharmacy set up exactly like you can see at Shoppers Drug Mart, Rexall, Walmart type pharmacy area. And then on the backside, we have our hospital pharmacy. And we're going to talk a little bit about how our health programs all work together. That's one really unique and cool thing about this building, our Nova Chemicals Health and Research Center, is it was built in a specific way so that all of our health programs can take part in mass simulations together. So you're going to see that as we tour through here. So we're just walking through upstairs. I'm on the 2nd floor. Right beside me is our gymnasium. The lights just went out, so it's unfortunate I couldn't show you that when the lights were on. But the gymnasium is one of the largest in the province. It's brand new. It's open to students if you want to hop in there to throw the ball around between classes. If you're playing basketball, you can do that too. It's a little noisy in here, so I'm just going to keep walking. And they got some fans blowing out the server room there. All right. So right now I'm in kind of one of our hubs of the Nova Chemicals Health and Research Center. Right behind me is our hospital entrance. So this is where our students in nursing, Bachelor of Science Nursing, Practical Nursing, Personal Support Worker, they get to practice inside this hospital. It's 42 beds, 3 tiers. There's 2 ICU units, so we are possibly going to see some of that here. And then on this side, we have our hospital pharmacy. There's a compounding room behind me. And then we have our ante room right beside me here. You can see some students in their gowns doing their IV preparation, most likely, is why they have to get suited up like that in most scenarios at least. And then what you can't see, I might be able to show you in the window here, is our hospital pharmacy. So it's not much of a view at this point, I realize that, but that's our hospital pharmacy. It's set up very different than the retail pharmacy, and that's because pharmacists in those 2 different areas practice in a very different way. So we have the compounding room where our pharmacy technician students make medicines. We have the hospital pharmacy with the door right beside of our actual hospital. And then we have our IV prep ante room and clean room right beside the hospital pharmacy where students learn to prepare IV medicines. Then we also have our entrance to the hospital here. So once again, you can see some of the students practicing in their massive room. It's one of the biggest in the province. Some of our local competitors for colleges have about 6 beds. Some of the biggest schools in Ontario, that's where they max out, is 6 beds in their simulation hospital. We have 42 with 2 ICU units. I had a group from the Schulich School of Medicine at Western University, a group of doctors come in a couple summers ago when we first launched this building, and they were amazed at our facility. They said that our facilities were bigger and more advanced than what they learned to become doctors in, which is pretty cool to see. All right, so we might get to see some of that. I might be able to sneak in the back. We'll see in a moment here. So I'm just going to walk to the other side of the hospital. And please, if you guys have questions, we've had a few already, post them up. Let us know in chat. I'm happy to answer them. Logan's with us too. He does the same role that I do. He's on the chat service. He's going to let me know, as well as Eric in our IT department is going to let me know through your questions on the screen here. Please let me know if you got questions. All right. So I'm jumping around on the schedule a little bit, but these are our study pods. They're pretty cool. So they're rooms, they're offices. I mean, nothing too special in here. We have a whiteboard, we have a TV, we have a sound bar. There's Apple TV and Apple Play or AirPlay on all the TVs, so you can drop whatever you're watching. You want to watch a podcast, you want to watch a YouTube video, you want to watch some Netflix, hop in here, put it on while you're studying, grab a group of friends, practice your presentation. These study pods are here for you to use, so you have a private place to study, which is pretty cool. There's a bunch of them on campus too. You're also going to see a whole bunch of meeting rooms, and you can use those meeting rooms as much or as little as you like. If they're empty, hop in there with some friends, do some work. With the pandemic in place, some of those are closed, if not all of them, but when we get back to normal, and we're going to be talking about September like we're going to be walking into something resembling normal. We have not made any formal announcements yet. Nothing has been decided, but I'm an optimist. I like to think that in September, maybe we'll see something resembling normal. I have no idea at this point, but I'm going to show you the spaces as if that's the scenario. Really hoping I can fix this gimbal because it is not being my friend at all right now. All right, so this is our audiology lab. This is used in our program called Communicative Disorders Assistant. It is home to our hearing tanks. Now, I don't know a boatload about this, but I know that they're pretty freaky to sit inside. They're essentially a place that completely eliminates sound. But that way, we can test people's hearing capabilities and their pathology and the way that they speak. And we can cue different types of sounds in different areas and see how the body reacts to those. So that's the purpose of those tanks, is they completely eliminate sound. You sit inside them, and we can test your hearing that way. It's the same type of thing that you'd find in a hospital or a clinic where they do that practice as well. And that's for our Communicative Disorders Assistance Program. All right. So I'm just outside the hospital. I'm gonna see if I can maybe pop in. Yeah, we're not gonna be hopping in there today, unfortunately. So I'd love to show you the hospital, but there's a pretty large class in there. They're spread out all over the place. So we are cohorted down to 15 students for the pandemic protocols, but they're spread out across the hospital, and it sounds like they're doing some testing, so I really don't want to bother them. Love to show you the hospital. We do have pictures. We do have video on our website. So if you want to check that out, be sure to go see our resources available there. And you'll be able to see the hospital there. Julia, what library services are available right now and to who? Great question. So library services are fully open. They're available to students. The services are obviously a little different with the pandemic and not a lot of students being on campus all day like we're used to. Much of our materials are rented out. They're actually, so library normally looks after research databases, access to college computers. They also look after textbook rental and resource help. And right now, I think their focus is largely on research, where they look after the research databases available to our students. Normally, they would rent out laptops and those things. That's being handled by our IT department for the time being, considering there's such a high demand for different pieces of technology that students need to use. But library resources are fully functional. They are there to support you with whatever it is you might need as far as accessing different texts and different materials and different research databases. You can contact them at lrc@lambtoncollege.ca. So if you want to hear more, I would like them to do the details as to what services they offer right now. I know that they are available all day, 8:30 to 4:30 at the very least, if not longer than that. But lrc@lambtoncollege.ca is going to get you in direct contact with their library services. It's a library resource center. So that is my recommendation, is to shoot them an email, but I know that they're there. All right. I think I'm safe. Hello. Okay. Yeah, I think we're good. All right, so right now I'm in the simulation apartment. If I could get my gimbal to work. All right, so this is our 2 apartment setting type learning spaces. They look just like real houses. I mean, we have a bathroom over here. That's right, we're showing a bathroom on a tour. We also have a bedroom, lots of windows so we can see who's in here at all times. But you're gonna notice something unique if you quickly notice what's happening inside this room. Like what's over top of that bed right there? It's a lift assist device. What was inside the bathroom? Maybe able to see some mobility devices and ease of access and quality of life devices. We have a living room and a kitchen. It's set up exactly like an apartment. We have 2 of them actually. So I'm gonna walk over here, and this is because we use this space for quite a few different things. You'll notice this giant gurney because we use it in our paramedic program. As a paramedic, you are gonna get calls to go into people's homes and find them in all sorts of different situations, and you have to figure out how to get them out of that safely. What if you find someone collapsed in the kitchen? You don't know if they hit their head. You're not sure. You know that you're going in, you have to save them from whatever situation they're in, and you get to practice that exact experience inside of these different learning simulation apartments. And then in the middle, this is really neat. So this is brand new. Obviously, this entire building is, but this is one of the coolest things that we were able to implement in here is this testing space. So what'll happen as a PSW or as a paramedic student, you're going to get the task to do something in one of these two apartments, whether that's to take care of your patient as a PSW or to rescue whoever it is you need to rescue from whatever situation they're in as a paramedic. And you're going to need to be assessed on that because it may be a test situation. It may be a practical test where you have to demonstrate your real world capabilities with your hands. When that happens, the teacher is not going to be over your shoulder. The professor is not going to be hovering beside you, peering over your shoulder, trying to see what you're doing. They're going to be hanging out in here, controlling the cameras, talking to you through the microphones. And that way, they can test you in a safe environment. You can be in the department doing your thing. You don't have to worry about the pressure of someone right beside you. And instead, you can see everything from that room, and the professor can assess you and help you through all these different cameras and microphones and things. You can see a drop mic right here. The simulation hospital too is set up in the exact same way. So our hospital does have that same room for ICU units. You know how there was in that room the apartment and then the testing area and then another apartment? It's like that in our hospital, except it goes ICU unit, testing area, ICU unit. And that way we can do practical assessments in the same way. All right, so this is one of our paramedic labs. We were in the apartments where they learn. This is another space where paramedics learn. You can see an ambulance there. That used to be on the road. We have taken it off the road, clearly. We're on the second floor of a massive building here. We chopped the nose off and we opened up the back so students can learn ambulatory care just like they would in the real world on a real world ambulance, because that's exactly what this is. The lights turn on and everything. I don't know how to do it, but they do turn on and it's pretty cool. It's a big open space, so you can see these different areas here. What's really neat is we can convert this too. So if we need to do practical assessments, these dividers right here that are also whiteboards are going to bring themselves all the way out to here, and then we can do 3 bays of practical assessments with 3 different teachers or professors or whoever it might be that's doing that assessment. The entire room's a whiteboard too, so that's pretty neat. You get to, you know, can write on whatever you like here essentially. I think all the walls are, but that one definitely is. You can see some of our storage areas. That's pretty cool. But paramedics need a big open space, and this is one of those spaces where they get to learn. Around the corner, we're not going to see it because my key card doesn't give me access to it. It's uses a more traditional lock. Is our DriveWise simulator. It's a $60,000 driving simulator, so students can get to practice what it's like to drive a real ambulance in a virtual setting through this massive driving simulator. It's really cool to see in action. It feels just like the real thing, except it's all virtual. You're surrounded by screens. You have all the equipment in front of you, and it feels just like an actual ambulance. It's pretty neat. All right, so we're back. We are back at this hub here. We have the hospital entrance. We have the pharmacy over here. We have our paramedic lab on this side. And then right down the way, we have our apartments. And this is where the story gets pretty cool. So what'll happen inside of this health building and between all of our different health programs is we run mass simulations. So let's set out a scenario. Maybe you're a PSW student. Maybe you want to become a PSW and you want to take that with us. Fantastic. Thank you for joining today. And great, you're in your program. All of a sudden, you find your person collapsed in the kitchen. You don't know what happened. You know that they have to go to the hospital, so you call 911. Our paramedics get the call. They go to the apartment, they rescue the patient like they would in real life. They bring them into the care of the nurses inside of our hospital. Our nurses then put the call into our pharmacy students who prepare the medicine in IV bags on their medicine carts and then deliver that to the nurses to administer to the patient that was just brought to them by our paramedic students. It's one big happy health family. We're the only school that incorporates all of our health programs to run mass simulations. It's a lot of fun. That's one of the best things about it is it's super, super fun to do. And it's exactly what you're going to experience in real life. So those mass simulations between paramedic, between personal support worker, between nursing, both Bachelor of Science nursing and registered nurse is an amazing experience. It's a ton of fun. And that's something you're only going to get to do here because of this amazing facility that we built with such a large focus on our health programs. All right, Karen. Hey, can you show photography department? Karen, I would love to, but that is in another building, unfortunately, that we won't be seeing today. So if you were behind me, that hallway, if you were to walk straight all the way down that hall, all the way across the parking lots, you would hit our photography lab. It's state of the art. It's ran by the coordinator of the program, Richard Beland, who's a Juno-nominated music photographer. He has shot photos of virtually every single big band you can think of. He's done many album covers for bands like Nickelback, some other large ones out there. He's really well known in the photography industry. He coordinates our program and has an amazing lab space that he has ensured is state of the art. So unfortunately, won't be seeing that. In the future, we will. So stay tuned. Check out our website for other live tour notifications. Make sure to watch your email because we will be heading over to the photography studio at a future date. But because it's in another building, unfortunately, I won't be able to show it today. All right, this is a really good view of half of our gymnasium. The divider's up right now. I'm not exactly 100% sure why, but they've had it up for a few weeks now. But if you were to pull that up, that's one of the largest gymnasiums in the college system. Hey. So if you were to pull that up, we seat about 1,200 people. When we have a basketball game going, it's like a miniature If you're still here, hi, welcome back. Sorry about that. We had a little bit of an audio problem. For some reason, I had to disconnect and reconnect. My video was coming through, but my audio wasn't. So if you're still here, thanks for hanging out through that. That was brutal. It took a while to figure it out, but anyways, we got it sorted. Hopefully you can hear me. I think you can see me because I can see me. So that means that somebody probably can. And hopefully that's you. All right, so once again, my name is Brady. Sorry for that brief interlude. We are currently in our fitness center. So far, we have seen our Nova Chemicals Health and Research Center, our massage therapy lab. We saw glimpses of our pharmacy technician lab. We saw a real brief description of our occupational therapist assistant, physiotherapist assistant lab, because there was a class in there. We also saw our paramedic lab and our simulation apartments and our study pods. We've seen a bunch of stuff, and right now we are in our fitness center. So this is, I don't know where I cut out, but we have a weight room at the back. We have a circuit training area. We have lots of cardio overlooking the gym. Students get access to this when we're during regular times. Currently with the pandemic, it is not open to the general public and general student body. But once again, during this tour, we are speaking like in the future, we're going to be back to something resembling normal, because at some point we will, whether it's now, September, or 2 years from now, we know that this is coming at some point. All right, so we are in our personal training studio. So this is the studio where we have yoga classes and spin classes, and we have personal trainers come in to teach different classes. But if you ever miss one of those where we have a dedicated trainer come in, there's a computer on the wall. You can see over here. And you can choose your workout. You can choose the duration, the tempo, all that kind of stuff. It pops up on the TV. There's a massive sound system. And you can hire a personal virtual trainer whenever you like for any type of class. You want to do TRX bands, you want to do spin class, you want to do weight training, hire the virtual trainer. They pop up on the screen. You follow along like you just paid somebody for an hour, but you didn't. It was free, and it's full of students. All right. So these are our treadmills. They're banded. They're really, really comfy. They don't have a normal tread on them. They have a thick rubber band, which is super comfortable to run on, especially for extended periods of time. One thing I did mention, and I think I cut out, was the ropes. We have rope machines, and in our other fitness center, we have lots of specific machines for our Firefit Challenge competitors. We are very competitive in the Scott Firefit Challenge, and you're going to see from the outside, at least, some of the machinery that they use. Normally, you access this building from the downstairs area only. I just go in through that back door for tours. All right, we are speeding along. We're going to be walking towards our cafeteria now. How many people do we have with us, Eric? Wow, okay. Quite a few people hung around. That's great to hear. So for everybody that stuck through, be sure to fill out our draw for a $50 Amazon gift card. Logan's going to post it in chat. He's also going to post it if you're on lambtoncollege.ca. Be sure to open a live chat with us, and we're going to get that in front of you. You can fill it out for a chance to win a $50 Amazon gift card. So we do have 2 gymnasiums and 2 fitness centers. You can see right now, the lights are off. We're not going to hop in there because it's a lot of the same material that we saw in the last fitness center, but we also have some more specific machinery for our Scott Firefit Challenge competitors. We are world champions, record holders in all sorts of different areas for the Scott Firefit Challenge, and that's because we have these amazing facilities where we can use a separate training studio just for that, and we also use it for program-specific training and like police foundations, protection, security, investigation, paramedic. There are fitness components to those programs, and we have a separate gym and a separate training facility where you can do the academic side of your fitness training. And then when you just want to get a workout, you hop over to the fitness center that we were just inside. All right, a big long hallway. If there's any questions, if you stuck it out, thank you so much. Sorry about the audio glitch there. For some reason, my headphones cut out. Not quite sure why. But anyways, we got it sorted out now, and we are well on our way. If you have questions, let me know. I'm happy to answer them. All right, so we're coming up on our Enactus studio, well, our Enactus office space and kind of learning common area. Don't think anybody's in there today. So the entrance to this room is down here, but this is their trophy display case. And you can see it's quite an accomplished group. So if you don't know, Enactus is a student-ran group. There are faculty advisors and faculty coordinators that help out, but students do all the work for it. And it is a group of students who want to change the world to be a better place. That's their ultimate goal. They do that through entrepreneurial spirit. So they look at things that need to be done, like introducing clean water to a place that doesn't have clean water, or maybe an economy that is struggling very much so, and they find entrepreneurial ways to better those people's lives and better that situation. So when I say entrepreneurial, ultimately it means sustainable, economically and socially. From a social standpoint, at least. And you can see we're pretty good at it. If you can read that one through the window, this is champion. And then second place. For the last 2 competitions, we placed second in the world and then first in the world the year before. And I'm talking about some massive institutions compete in Enactus. So it is a student group, but it is a program that stretches across most colleges and universities. Some of the biggest schools you can think of compete in Enactus. Yale, I think, has a team. Western University of Windsor, some of the biggest schools that you know about compete in Enactus, and we beat every single one of them in North America during the last competition, and the year before, every single one of them in the world. Hundreds of institutions compete in this. So in order for us to claim that, we're very, very proud. It's an amazing opportunity for you as a student to get involved. If you want to meet people, if you want to put stuff on your resume, if you want to change the world to be a better place, Enactus is by far the best place that you can possibly start that with. Not only do we have a history of taking our students right to the top of the competition, but our students are clearly very passionate when it comes to this, and it's a great way to just improve the lives of people around you and communities around you. All right. I should have mentioned too, because I can see me glitching out a little bit. As I move throughout the school, I am going to be hopping between access points, and it might drop the video. It might drop audio for a brief second. I will come back. So if it looks like it's dropping out, it's not you, it's me. Everybody loves to hear that. Oh, one thing I forgot to show us was the chemistry lab. All right. So I am going to backtrack a little bit here and show our new lab. We're just built in the last years. Awesome. Chemistry lab. For seconds so the lights turn on. Good stuff. So you can see brand new lab spaces here. Hood vents on my left-hand side. Lots of lab spaces on the right. Lots of machinery. Lots of stuff that I definitely don't know exactly how it works and probably shouldn't be in there without safety equipment. And then we have our physics lab on this side. Just gonna hop in so the lights turn on. And you can see this is our physics lab and chemistry lab. So this is used in a whole bunch of different programs: chemical lab technologists, chemical production, power engineering technology, instrumentation students may even be in there. I wouldn't be surprised. But we have these state-of-the-art lab spaces that we can use for research, that we can use for academic learning. They're fully functional, brand new state-of-the-art chemistry and physics labs. All right, so we're going down to the cafeteria. If you have any questions, once again, I understand some people are filtering in and out. Maybe you just joined us. Hey, welcome. My name is Brady. I'm an enrollment advisor from Lambton. I am here to help you get the information that you need, get connected with people at the school, and do really cool stuff like take you on tours like this. So that is exactly what we're up to. Right now, we're in our upper cafeteria. With the pandemic, we have a few things closed down, like the Tim Hortons and this little cafeteria area right over here where you can see some of the kind of the gated areas. But normally that's open. In a regular school year, it is. If you're staying in residence, your meal plan does work there. But this is mostly seating. The Tim Hortons is super popular when that's up and running. Right now, our Tim Hortons is downstairs in our other cafeteria. And we're going to pop through to the Student Administrative Council. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. So this is one area that I don't have a key to. Normally I can sneak in through that door. And it's all locked up. So we unfortunately can't hop in there. But maybe if the glare is going to be our friend and not show up. Yeah, you can't see it through the window, but behind me, directly behind me, is our 22 super high-end gaming arena where our varsity gaming competitors play, where they practice. We do have varsity esports, just like varsity basketball and baseball and soccer. We do have varsity esports as well. That's one of the arenas where our competitors play. It's also open to students. If you just want to hop in there and rip some video games in between classes, you can do that. Student Administrative Council also has a lounge where you can just hang out. It's got tables and chairs and that kind of stuff. And then downstairs is our school pub. So that's where they serve delicious food and alcohol and all that kind of fun stuff that you would expect at college. All right. So we are just hopping downstairs. I'm going to tour back to the lion's den and see if that's open for us. It may be. So this is the main cafeteria. You can see behind me is where pretty much all the food comes from. If you're staying in residence, that's where 95% of your meals are going to be. Yeah, it looks like it's closed. Oh, actually, someone's going to let me in. Sweet. All right, so we'll get to see the lion's den. So this is open for all students, all ages, whether you're drinking age or not. They do serve alcohol. If you are not over the age of 19, they're not going to serve you that, but they will. Thanks, John. If I can, yeah. Cool. Is it okay if I just unlock the door and head on out upstairs? Okay. All right. Doing a live tour in case you haven't noticed it. How you doing, Dave? Pretty good. All right, so we're in our lion's den now. This is home to a great hangout for students. They have great music, they have games, all that kind of cool stuff. They also have events on the last Thursday of every month during a regular school year when we're not in a pandemic. So if you're staying in residence, if you're local, if you want to come on down, feel free to do so. Last Thursday of every month, they have DJs and Western nights and toga nights and bands and all, hypnotists, comedians, that kind of stuff. So be sure to stay tuned to their calendar to see what's happening. They do serve delicious food. Some of my favorite food on campus comes from here. So if you want to grab some food, you can do so. Your meal plan does not work here. It's the only place it doesn't, but their prices are amazing. And it's a great place to grab some grub, grab a drink with your friends, listen to some music, take part in an event. It's one of the best parts of being a student at Lambton, getting to hang out down here at the Lion's Den. People are really friendly too. We can try. So I understand we're maybe checking out the computer labs. Trying to think where that is in the school. I don't know if I have access to that one, actually. That's a good question, because they have a special keypad. We can try. We'll try. We'll swing up there and we'll take a look. So if you want to see the computer programming labs, we will go check that out, or at least attempt to. They do have a separate access card, so we'll see if we can get in. All right. So this, cool. So this is our esports arena. We have two of them, like I mentioned. This is the one open to students, to varsity players, to, hey, Tony, Tony's the coordinator of varsity esports. You might be able to see him back there. It's a little glary, but if you want to rip some games in between classes, you want to try out for one of our varsity teams, that's a place you can do so. We're also in the Student Administrative Council office area, which is right behind me. If you want to run for council person, for president, vice president, treasurer, those are all positions you can run for on campus. There's students that do it. The president gets his own office or her own office on campus, so that's pretty cool. So if you want your own office, that's a great place to start going down that venture. There's also tables, chairs, like I mentioned, outside, and then these TVs have a PS4 hooked up. So if you want to play some games, you can do that too. So I am going to unlock this door and hope that somebody locks it back up when I leave. All right. Should probably email them, let them know it's unlocked. Okay. So we are going to head back downstairs now. We're going to see the cafeteria. Then we are going to take a right, see the bookstore, and then check out our technology kind of trades area that we have on campus here. Any questions? Let me know. Yes. Okay, perfect. So we will definitely see some computer programming areas today. So this is our cafeteria. This is where 95% of your meals come from if you're staying on residence. It's a main place you're going to use your meal plan. They do have a Tim Hortons, a self-serve one in there for the time being. And then hopefully when we're back to something resembling normal, you'll head upstairs to grab your cafeteria, your Tim Hortons coffees and sandwiches and that kind of stuff up there. They do have a burger bar, sandwich bar, daily specials on the left-hand side, salad bar, soup bar, pizza. It's a little room, tons of options. They have like sushi on Mondays and things like that. So make sure to check out that daily special bar because there's always something there. You never know what it's going to be. And it's usually a great price at Christmas and Easter and Thanksgiving. You oftentimes dinners. All right. Soon. Oh. Okay. Just gonna hang out here. Perfect. Awesome. So as I mentioned before, if you've joined with us, I am going to be hopping between. You guys are all good. Camera's facing me. Hey, Derek. So as I move throughout the campus, I'm going to be moving access points and hopping between different access points or routers, I guess you could think of it as, if that doesn't make sense. So that just means I'm going to drop connection briefly and then rejoin. So if you see me glitch out, I'm still here. Thanks for coming. You're still going to get to see the rest of the campus. I'm just going to kind of drop in and out as I move throughout the building, but it's really quick. That's good news. All right, so we're in front of our campus shop, our bookstore here. So this is where you get all your textbooks, all your stationery. They also have lots of Lambton swag and snacks and games and all that kind of cool stuff. So make sure to check this out at some point during your tenure as a student. Grab a Lambton sweater, grab a t-shirt. It's a, they got tons of selection. I buy tons of clothes there. Not gonna lie, I love the clothes. They're great prices. They fit really well. Who doesn't love showing off your favorite school's brand too? I mean, that's pretty sweet. So actually, I shop there quite a bit myself. But you can still do that online. Their website is open. If you Google, I just Google it each time, Lambton College Campus Shop, you will find their website. And it's, hey guys, you will find their website. You can buy clothes, buy books, buy stationery, buy games, all that kind of stuff on there. So we're heading down to our tech and trades wing. This is home to our welding program, millwright program areas, machine shops, maintenance shops. There's a new hydraulics, pneumatics lab. There's a new physics lab. You can see it's getting set up right now. So this is all brand new, kicking up for next year. Largely used in our millwright program. Millwright is one of our biggest programs that we have. It's very, very popular. We by far have the best program in the entire province, and it takes up one of the biggest footholds in the school. Right beside me is our maintenance shop. So if you are becoming a future millwright, you are definitely going to be spending time in this hallway as well as a few other areas on the school. In the school, you're going to be learning pneumatics, hydraulics. You're going to be even learning about physics and those types of things. Now they play into the job that you're going to be doing as a millwright. You're also going to be machining and CNCing different things inside of our machine shop. My key card, once again, doesn't give us access to these labs. And you also have to have like hard hats and all that kind of stuff when you go in there. Not hard hats, hard toe, steel toe boots, safety glasses. I'm not wearing that right now. So unfortunately, we can't hop in there, but we do have a machine shop with lathes and CNCs, a grind shop to support that machine shop. Cool thing inside of our millwright program is you're actually going to make a whole bunch of different tools like a slide hammer and some other things like that. And then you get to keep. All right. So we are. All right. So as I move about, I'm going to be hopping in there to connection spaces. So once again, thanks for bearing with us, everybody. And while we're here, great. While we're here, if you want, we have a draw for a $50 Amazon gift card. Fill that out. It's only open to people today. We are going to be giving somebody who viewed this live stream a free $50 Amazon gift card. Logan's going to post it in chat. He's going to give it to you on live chat if you're on lambtoncollege.ca. He's going to post it in our YouTube live chat. So make sure to fill that out and let us know that you were here. So this is a big hallway, and it's a great time for questions if you have any. Hey, how are you? Quite well. All right, so you can see all around me are lockers. I mean, lockers aren't the most exciting thing in the world, but they are super handy. And if you want one, you can grab it up at the Student Administrative Council where that gaming arena was. Pop your head in the office, say, hey, I'm looking to purchase a locker. And they'll sell you one for 40 bucks for the year. It's not a bad deal. It's a great place to put your coat, great place to put your bags, you know, normal stuff that goes in the locker. But they're all over the place, downstairs, upstairs, you name it. If you have most of your classes upstairs, grab a locker upstairs. If most of your classes are in the basement, grab a locker downstairs. All right, so I'm going to run right here, pretty much, because this is a bad area for access. All right. Good stuff. All right, so sorry for that dry spot there. We lose connection every single time I go through that hallway. So that's why I kind of just was silent and ran, because I wanted to get through to this side of the hallway because the connection is much better over here. So we just moved into our Center of Excellence in Energy and Bioindustrial Technology. You're going to see on my right-hand side is our capstone room for programs like instrumentation, control engineering, industrial automation, chemical production, power engineering. It's home to a whole bunch of equipment. We can use that pretty much for anything that we want. So in the last year of many of our programs, you have a capstone project, which is typically a year long. It's going to change from year to year. We work with local industry partners and employers to find out, you know, what can we work on? What can we do for you? What can our students do to learn and help you at the same time? And then we implement that in practice inside this capstone lab. Then on my right-hand side now, you'll see our PLC lab, industrial automation lab. It's home to robots. It's home to circuit machines. It's home to a whole bunch of stuff that, quite frankly, I wish I knew more about, because it's some really technical stuff, but it's really cool to see in action. Each one of those robots are like $300,000 a piece or $100,000 a piece. They're the same robots that put together all sorts of different things, cars and machinery and KitchenAid mixers, for example. Those are the exact same robots that you find in a KitchenAid factory that put together those really expensive stand mixers. And our students in industrial automation, or sorry, instrumentation control engineering, industrial automation, get to learn how to program them. Our millwright students get to learn how to maintain them and install them. They actually get certified. Oh, yep. All right, action's real spotty today. Okay. Oh, okay. Gotcha. So I think I cut out a little bit there. In our instrumentation, control engineering, industrial automation, and our millwright programs, students get to practice on those robots. Millwrights install them, maintain them, service them, repair them, put parts inside, all that kind of stuff that millwrights look after. Instrumentation students get to program them and run them and learn how they operate. And both of those programs receive a special certification from the robotics company that makes those robots. And it's one of the largest in the world. So that's a pretty cool feature about that program. All right, so right behind me is our electronics lab. This is where students learn circuitry and the intricacies of creating controls, especially in programs like instrumentation, control engineering, industrial automation. That's one program where they're going to use that lab space quite heavily. Right behind me, you can't see it. We're not going to hop in there right now because the lights are off and there's nothing to happen at the moment, but that's our distillation tower. So if you're from Sarnia-Lambton, you may have noticed that we have a lot of industry around here. If you haven't, that's one thing you will notice when you get around here, smokestacks and towers and those types of things. You will notice really two tall structures in a lot of those places. One of them is a smokestack. It's pretty obvious, flames and smoke come out of it in some cases. And then the other are these really tall towers with at the top, and those are distillation towers. that's where a lot of product is distilled and created. So when I say product, I mean like methane and butane and different materials that are used in the production or are being produced as a product itself for use inside the plant or to sell. So at one layer at the bottom, you might have, I don't know, this might not be true, but you might have like methane. At the top, you might have butane, and we can pull out different types of products at different layers of those distillation towers, and we have one that operates in our basement. All right. So we're in our Center of Excellence in Energy and Bioindustrial Technology space, home to many of our technology programs. And we are just going to take a tour over here, walk past a few different lab spaces. All right. And it's going to take a peek inside this lab space. So I'm not going to pop in there because you have to have safety equipment, but you can see the boiler unit over there. And then another boiler unit might be showing you. I think you can see it over there. So those two boilers produce power and have the potential to produce power for our school. They're TSSA certified, and that's how our students in programs like power engineering technology get some of their steam time reduction is right here on campus. Students in that program graduate their third year with their second class power engineering certificate, certified by the TSSA, and many hours of that steam time reduction is gained right here inside of this boiler lab. If you want to learn more about that, email us info@lambtoncollege.ca. We will gladly get you in contact with the people that know most about these areas, and they can answer some of those questions that you might have about your TSSA certifications. All right. So we're just coming back around now. One of our biggest programs that we have is chemical production power engineering technology. It's what these spaces here, they're used by chemical production power engineering technology. Those two programs use quite a few of these different lab spaces. This is the flow control lab, process flow and control lab. Always forget the name of that one. You can see lots of pipe works, lots of places to take measurements. And that's because in a plant setting or a refinery setting, you're gonna find lots of pipes, lots of process piping inside of those spaces. And you're gonna need to learn how that operates. And we have miniature versions of that set up in that lab space. This is the valve calibration lab. Students in there getting their hands on learning. And this is our advanced materials testing lab. So I mentioned at the beginning, you may not have been here, but we are the #2 college in Canada, #1 in Ontario for applied research. We had millions of dollars flow through the college completing research. And what that looks like is essentially we get asks from companies and governments and different types of people and places, and they ask us to make things. They ask us to invent things. They might want a more eco-friendly way to produce a material. They might want a more substantial product to meet whatever needs that they need that product to meet. And then they ask us to invent that, essentially. And then we hire students to do so. Last year, we hired almost 200 students to take part in research. And these are some of the lab spaces that led us to become the second college in all of Canada for applied research. All right. So it's gonna whip through here. You can see our courtyard. You can't because it's really blown out from the contrast. But there's a big courtyard back there. We have like free hot dog days and stuff like that that randomly happens throughout the school year. All right, so I just walked past a hallway. Not too much to see down there, except for a testing center. If you have to book a test with us, a professional exam, maybe if you miss a test and you want to arrange that with your professor for whatever reason, life has taken you somewhere and you happen to miss a test, let your professor know, they'll work with you. And in some cases, you can write it in that testing area. And then this is our accessibility center. So this is for student success. They are there to give you the tools to be successful. If you have any needs the school should know about, learning needs, physical needs, maybe you want to seek out counseling for academic purposes or personal purposes, you can do so inside that accessibility office. They can work with you. For example, if you have an IEP from high school, that's a great first place to start. Talk to the people in accessibility. They might be able to make accommodations that are very similar to what you would have had in high school from your IEP. Just let us know. And that's what we're here for, is to make you successful. All right. Awesome. So, Kale, Is there a video tour for dorm rooms? That is being produced right now. So yes, there will be. We have open house coming up at the end of March. I forget the exact date. I want to say it's March 27th, but I have to double check. It's eluding me right now, but we do have open house coming up. There is going to be a tour recorded and live for open house of our dorm rooms, of our residence building. So not right now, but that is coming. It's being produced as we speak. So yes, answer is yes, no. It is coming, not at the moment. So stay tuned, watch your email. We are going to get that in front of you, and be sure to join us at open house too. Maybe if Logan or Eric, if you guys want to post the time for open house and the date, that would be fantastic. All right. And then we have our residents, talking about residents with the dorm rooms there. We have a registrar's office. This is your administrative hub for the school. So everything you do related to financial aid, course registration, graduation, admissions, making payments to the school, all that kind of stuff takes place in this registrar's office. We are very different than most other colleges in the province. As far as I know, we are the only ones that operate in this way, and I absolutely love what they've done inside this office in order to make their services more accessible to you as a student. We have what are called enrollment service professionals. These are your one-stop shop for everything related to being a student inside of your program. So what that means is if you have a question about financial aid, if you have a question about course registration or admissions or graduation or making a payment to the school, you talk to your enrollment service professional and they help you with all those different aspects. If you had a question about financial aid, you don't go to the financial aid office, you go to your ESP. You have a question about course registration, you don't go to the registrar's office. Well, you do, but you go to your ESP. You don't go to someone separate. And this way you can start to know who it is that takes care of your program. You can build a relationship with them. And it's easier to ask for help when you know who you're talking to. It's one thing we've learned. If you are struggling with budgeting, for example, and you need help budgeting your OSAP money, you're not going to talk to someone random. You're going to talk to the person who said, congratulations, you've been accepted to the chemical production power engineering program. In that case, it's Phil Babby. Phil looks after our technology programs. Hannah looks after our health programs. And these people are there to help you through the entire process of being a student. They're super friendly and you can get to know them. You talk to Hannah when you get your admissions. You talk to Hannah when you need help with OSAP, all that kind of cool stuff. All right, so down here is our IT service desk. When you become a student, you get lots of access to different services like My Lambton, Web Advisor, D2L. If you ever can't log into these services or are having trouble accessing the tools that you have in front of you as a student, you can get help with that at the IT service desk. That's what they're there to do. They can reset your passwords, they can get you access, they can make sure all your courses are loaded in your D2L, all that kind of stuff. So if you're struggling or having troubles with anything related to IT related issues, maybe it's hardware, maybe it's software, great place to start is the IT help desk. And it is right across from the registrar's office, right down this hall. Awesome, cool, yeah, questions are coming in. Julia, who should I contact to find out about part-time jobs on or near the campus? Great question, I love that. So a few different options for you, Julia. We have a few different programs and we haven't received word if it's going to be running in September. I know that the summer program is, but the during school program, which is called work study, which is normally 8 hours per week. And you make your own schedule essentially. If you have a 4-hour break between classes on Tuesday, go and work for 3 hours in whatever department you may get hired for. To be eligible for work study, it's open to all students who show financial need. So if you're completing OSAP, you automatically demonstrate financial need. If you complete a budget form that shows a negative number and represents the reality of your financial situation, then you show financial need. And that opens you up to be eligible to apply for work study positions. Like I said, they're 8 hours per week normally. You work and can get hired in all sorts of different departments, marketing, registrar's office, IT, I think may even hire some, groundskeeping, facilities, accounting. They all hire work study students in the normal school year. So that's a great way to make money, 8 hours per week. Super flexible with your schedule too. You're a student first and an employee second. So that's why I'm a big fan of the work study program. Looks really good on your resume and it's a great way to make some cash. And then in the summer, you can become an EBAT student, which is employment between academic terms. As long as you were in a 2-year program or more and you finished up a term and are coming back the next term, you may potentially be eligible to apply for EBAT positions. Once again, you have to show financial need, but that's 35 hours a week, guaranteed full-time employment all summer long. Great way to earn some resume material. Great way to have stable employment all summer, 35 hours a week. Awesome opportunity. I highly recommend taking advantage of those if you can. And then other part-time jobs, we're in a really central location for a lot of retail, food service, all sorts of different regular part-time jobs that you think about when you think about a part-time job. We're in Uptown Sarnia here, so maybe you're not from the Sarnia area. Right across the road from us is Lambton Mall. There's lots of positions there. Right beside us is a big giant shopping kind of villa or strip mall type thing. So there's lots of positions there. You're in an awesome area if you're staying in residence to find a position within walking distance in a part-time manner, both retail and food service. So finding those positions, I like maybe our counseling department might have some help with that, but largely you're going to want to approach those external places like, the Brick or what am I trying to think of here? Metro grocery stores right beside us, or maybe one of the restaurants in the area, or a retail place in Lambton Mall. You'll want to approach them on your own to find a position with them. But as far as supported campus jobs, we have the work study program, 8 hours per week, and then EBAT all summer long, 35 hours a week throughout the summer term. That was a very long explanation. Oh, yes, okay. Good stuff, okay. Please do show computer labs and facilities available for software programming related courses. Okay, we're gonna run back up to the computer lab spaces. It's not too far away. So we are gonna head there now. We kind of took a little bit of a funny tour. That's normally not a stop, but we are gonna go try and check that out here. Good stuff. Any other questions? Some questions we can have there. Makes it a lot more fun when I have questions to answer and people to talk to. And I don't have to vamp as much. And I feel like I can address some things that you actually want to hear about, and maybe not just, stuff that I think might be important for you. All right. I'm going to rush through this dead zone here. All right, am I back? Hello, check 1 2. It looks like I am. What are the weather conditions in Sarnia? Great question. Snowy. It's winter here in Canada. Very cold. Well, actually, today's nice. It's like +5 out, which is super warm, actually. Yeah, so that's this time of year, though, you can expect the snow. No doubt about that. This year's been pretty good. It's not like crazy cold. It's like regular cold, which is like -10 to 15. It's pretty good. So, Eric is our IT guy. Do you know how I can access this lab? Awesome. Okay. Thank you. That worked. The master of keys got us into the computer programming lab space. Yes. Eric is our IT moderator. He's with us today. He's talking to my ear, helping me with these questions. So a big round of applause for me. Not going to do it because I'm holding the camera, but I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about giving you a big round of applause, Eric, because you're awesome. So he helped us get access to this lab space here. For the person that wanted to see our computer programming area, IT related, database management, all that kind of fun stuff, cybersecurity, infrastructure, might be mixing two programs there, cybersecurity and infrastructure management. These are the types of lab spaces where you're going to learn. Each lab or each computer has 2 monitors. I'm sure if you're looking at getting into this, you know the value of having dual monitors. So our lab spaces do come equipped with that, but you can imagine it's a big giant computer lab, lots and lots of monitors. Every time you see 2 monitors, that's 1 computer hooked up to it. All right, and we have a bunch of these. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, I think. Yeah, 4 different lab spaces exactly like the one we just saw. So lots and lots of computers for our computer programming programs and our postgraduate programs and IT professional, I think that's still one. Infrastructure, cybersecurity, database management, all those kind of niche areas. We have lots of lab spaces. All right. Tammy, are there any new labs or construction happening between now and September for next year to benefit students? Great question. I'm going to answer this in 1 second, Tammy, when I get through to a stable spot. All right. So I think I'm back. Tammy, awesome question. Yes. So we are using this time to upgrade our campuses quite a bit for students. Specific areas, we did a lot of that the year before. So we added 3 new buildings to our current campus, our Center of Excellence in Energy and Bioindustrial Technologies, our Athletics and Fitness Complex, our Nova Chemicals Health and Research Center. Those all got added like a year before the pandemic struck, but we are still using this time to kind of regroup and rebuild some of our lab spaces here, especially in our technology wing. So for Millwright, they're getting like a complete overhaul in many of their classrooms. They're getting a brand new physics lab. They're getting a brand new physics lab, brand new hydraulics lab. Their Millwright maintenance shop is getting completely redone. So yes, to answer your question, absolutely. I think they're doing a lot of work in residence right now. There's quite a few different spots on campus that are getting overhauled. And then we also started construction at the front of the school. We are redoing the entrance and bookstore area. So that started a couple months ago. Or at least like 6 months ago now. Kind of, yep. Okay. Hop in between access points. Gonna hop in and out. So Tammy, to answer your question, yeah, we have lots of construction happening. There's lots of landscaping happening too. It just got finished up, a bunch of it, but we added a brand new sign to the front. We rechanged our parking lot. So more than I can list in one shot is what's going on campus. All right. So how are the sports facilities? That was at the beginning of the tour, a little while ago, but we have an amazing athletics fitness complex. It's brand new. Once again, that's one of those new buildings that we added about a year before the pandemic started. It's home to one of Ontario's largest gymnasiums in the college network. So even though we are a smaller school, we still have by far one of the biggest gym spaces for basketball players to practice in and play their games in, for students to just go throw the ball around. We seat 1,200 people inside the gymnasium. It's an Olympic-sized basketball court. There's a 208-inch LED Jumbotron. That's one of our gyms. We have 2 of them. The other one is a bit smaller, but it is there nonetheless. So yes, athletics, sports facilities, state-of-the-art, brand new. That's one of the newest additions that we put on the school. And our fitness center is also one of the biggest and by far most expensive gyms as far as the equipment inside goes in Sarnia. So you get access to all of that when you're a student in our Sarnia campus here. So yeah, great question. Oh, okay. Okay, I'm gonna run. Michelle, can we see a tour of health lab? Okay, yes. So I'm just gonna make it to a more stable part of the school here where I got better internet, or have better internet. All right. Good, okay. So Michelle, can we see a tour of the healthcare labs and facilities? Michelle, that's a great question. Yes, you can in some regards. So during these live tours, one of the things that I'm limited by is if there's classes happening, and there was a massive class inside of it. Well, not massive, it's 15 students, but there was a class happening inside of our simulation hospital. So we weren't able to hop in there, but if you scrub back in the video, you should just be able to zip back like you would in a normal YouTube video to about the probably 10, 15 to 20 minute mark, like anywhere between 10 minutes and 25 minutes into the video is when we were in the Nova Chemicals Health and Research Facility. So yes, if you scroll back, you can do that now, you can do that after, but scroll on back there, you'll be able to see the Nova Chemicals Health and Research Center, and that's where a lot of our health facilities are. So yes, absolutely you can. We saw the paramedic lab, we saw the pharmacy lab from the outside because there was a class in there as well. We saw our PSW and our paramedic simulation apartment spaces. We also saw the study pods and the massage therapy lab. And then occupational therapy assistant also had a class inside of it, so we weren't able to hop in there. We do have videos and pictures of a lot of those spaces on our website too in a little bit more detail. So if you do want to see inside of our 42-bed simulation hospital, just hop on to, I think it's, if you just Google Lambton College live tour, it should bring you to a resource page with lots of those live tour options. And you'll be able to walk through, so to speak, a 3D tour you can take yourself on throughout our 42-bed simulation hospital. So yes, you can see it. That was a really long way to say yes. Yes, scrub back. You can see some of it. Or go to our resource pages for live tours, and you can go on a personal, take yourself on a virtual tour, kind of like those real estate listings. I don't know if you've seen those, where we can walk through a house. We have that for our lab spaces here on campus. So yes, you totally can see that. We didn't get to see it today. Yeah, great time for questions. We're at the end of the tour. We're in front of one of the last stops here, so great time for questions. What entrance scholarships are offered to students? Liam, great question. This is one that I love to tell students about because it's really, really important. So entrance scholarships, there's quite a few. The easiest one, and the one I'll leave you with, because there's more than I could list here, is the Lambton College General Entrance Bursary. It's worth up to $1,500. Every single student is eligible for it that shows financial need. So in order to show financial need, you have to complete a budget, or you have to be receiving OSAP. If you're receiving OSAP, you automatically demonstrate financial need. If you aren't receiving OSAP, you have to complete a budget form that shows a negative number and represents your financial reality. You know, most students, pretty well every student I've ever talked to, is going to show a negative number because that's the reality of being a student. You're not working, you're studying, and your expenses are relatively higher than someone who might not be studying. So financial need, OSAP, you are eligible for the Lambton College General Entrance Bursary. It's the very first one you're going to see when you log into mylambton.ca and click registration and finances, and then go down to scholarships and bursaries. You will see it there. Anyways, apply for that one. Easy peasy. Most students are eligible, and by far that's the easiest one. And you will also see, by going to mylambton.ca, clicking registration and finances, and then scrolling down to scholarships and bursaries, you're going to see all the other options available to you. They're program specific, some of them are open to all students. Check it out there. You're going to see tons of them. But be sure to apply for the Lambton College General Entrance Bursary. That's by far one of the best ones you can fill out for. Great question. All right, another question, Tyler. What is parking like on campus? Parking is ample. So I've had the luxury of getting to visit most campuses in Ontario, most other colleges. We have tons of parking here, and it's relatively inexpensive compared to most other schools out there. So when you purchase a parking pass, you can park in any campus that you like, residence, main campus, fire campus, depending on where your classes are. You have access to all of those spaces. So I'll let these people pass here. We're going into too much detail. Loud talkers, all right, just like me. So lots and lots of parking. If you were, I know this means nothing to you watching on video, but if you were to walk, like if I were to walk straight right now, I would hit our parking lot. There's tons of parking out there. Most days when classes are in full swing, students are able to park easily on campus. I don't think I've ever seen a situation where there isn't a parking space for a student. So lots and lots of parking. Last year that we were offering parking passes, parking has been free for this entire year with the pandemic. But the year before that, when you had to buy a parking pass, it was $270 for the year. That got you access to our main building campus. That got you access to residence parking and the fire school parking. So yes, parking services are great, in my opinion. Compare that to a school like Mohawk, where you pay, I think it's $900 for a parking pass for a year. That's crazy. We're a lot less expensive, and we have a lot more parking here. At Mohawk, I know for a fact that you can't get a parking spot some days because that happened to me. I have been in that situation. It was no fun. So anyway, it's not a problem here. Very inexpensive, lots and lots of parking. Great. Kale, how many residence buildings are there, and is there a better one for fire students? We have one residence building. It's like right behind me. If I were to walk backwards now, and I'm facing kind of 90 degrees from where I said this before, I would walk across a parking lot and I would be inside of our residence building. Most students who stay there, not most I should say, but a huge chunk of students who stay in residence are firefighting students. So the one that we have is your best choice. I mean, it's the only choice that you have. We have about 280 students that stay with us in residence, and a large portion of them are firefighting students. So you're going to be in kind nature there. You're going to have lots of friends inside your program, inside that residence building with you. So yes, yeah, residence. It's like 2 parking lots behind our main building here. If I were to just keep backing up and I didn't stop for about 3 or 4 minutes, I would be inside of our residence building, and I would see a whole bunch of fire students there, because that's, I mean, our firefighting program brings students in from all over the province, and they need a place to stay, and residence is a great choice to do that in. If you stay for fire science technology, the second year, we're the only school that offers an advanced diploma in fire science technology. You can potentially stay in residence, or you can make some friends in the pre-service program and rent a house. A lot of people do that in fire science technology. So yes, we do have residents. We have one building. A huge portion of that are firefighting students. So it's a good time. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, great. Michelle, are there off-campus residents close by campus location? Yes. So it's not ran by the college. We don't have like an official off-campus housing liaison or like a program for that, but there's a ton of off-campus housing. We're in a really good area here where kind of 45 degrees to my left-hand side here is a really popular apartment district. So there's lots of apartment buildings for rent there. This last year has been crazy for real estate and like rent and stuff, because just like everywhere across Ontario, you're seeing people move from bigger cities to smaller cities like us. I think Sarnia was rated just recently by U-Haul. U-Haul keeps a really neat list where they track how many people are renting their trucks and seeing where they're moving. Anyways, we were one of Ontario's top cities to move to. So because of that, you're seeing some changes in the rent as far as like availability and that kind of stuff goes. But there's a ton of options around us, apartments, and then directly in front of me is a massive subdivision where there's lots of houses for rent too. A lot of people know that we have a lot of students that come to live here, and they make those rooms and houses available to students through Kijiji. Mostly that's the best place. You can also Google Sarnia Student Housing. I think there's another website. It's like, I think it's called sarniastudenthousing.ca. It is not ran by the college. It's not affiliated with us, but I know some people have used that in the past, and I just push people to Kijiji whenever we're talking about off-campus housing. I've had friends and I've had students that I've talked to elsewhere in the province have some pretty good luck there. So yes, off-campus housing, definitely available. Not ran by us, not liaised by us, but lots of students stay in off-campus housing. Yes. Good. Stuart, do you have a music department to learn and practice at? Not so much. No, that's a good question. There may be a piano upstairs, but it's not. Anyways, I shouldn't even mention that, because it's just like hanging out in a random spot and people go play piano there all the time. So Stuart, I wish I could answer yes, but we do not have a dedicated music room. But I can tell you that there are tons of office spaces and boardrooms and meeting rooms on campus, especially in our Nova Chemicals Health and Research Center that was at the beginning of this tour. Tons and tons of office spaces there, boardroom spaces there. You can use that whenever you like. All of those boardrooms, all of those office rooms that are, especially inside the Nova Chemicals Health and Research Center, are open to students to do whatever you want in them. I mean, you can't, like, obviously, I think they discourage eating and drinking. So like you can't be throwing like parties and stuff in there, but as far as you hanging out with your friends in your program, use those spaces. If one of the faculty or staff rents it, we're just gonna come in and let you know and say like, hey, Stuart, I see you're jamming out in here. Is it cool if maybe you find somewhere else, because we have this rented for this type of meeting? Is that okay with you? And then they'll ask you if maybe you can find another place, but if it's empty, hop in there and use it. So we don't have a dedicated music spot, but if you got an instrument, you want to bring it on campus, you know, there's nothing stopping you from hopping into one of those boardroom spaces and doing your thing. Just close the door, so maybe you're not bugging the classrooms around you or distracting. So yes, we kind of do. Not a dedicated spot, but we do have spaces for you to just use for whatever you want. Yes, bring your drums to the study pods. A suggestion from Eric in IT. In case you actually do that and somebody gets mad at you, you can blame Eric in IT for saying that, and he told me to say it. So, Tammy, is there a virtual tour for fire school? Tammy, great question. Yes, there is. We are deciding on a date right now. So we actually just talked about that this morning. I do these tours at the fire school as well. It's one of my favorite spots to go tour because the fire school staff are awesome. They're like the friendliest, coolest people ever, and I just love hanging out there. It's also Canada's largest live fire training facility. It's the biggest in the entire country, so I love showing it off. So yes, that is coming up. 100% we are going to have material available at our open house. Maybe if Logan, you want to post the dates for open house in the chat there, that would be cool so we can get a reminder of when those are. So we're definitely going to have resources from the fire school that day, but I'm also going to try and swing a live tour before that. So we're gonna send out a date. Tammy, I don't know if you've applied to the program, which is a great intro into my next point. If you have applied, we're going to email you, whether you've confirmed your offer, you're sitting on an offer, or whatever stage you're at. If you've applied, we're going to let you know when that date for the fire school tour is, through text and probably through email as well. But if you haven't applied, we will pay for your application. So there's still tons of time for you to apply to most of our programs. Very few programs are filled at this point. So, I mean, we have probably about 4 or 5 that have gone waitlisted. But apart from that, our other programs that we have over 90. You can still apply for, and we will help you apply. We're going to help you through the whole process. We're even going to cover the cost of your $95 application fee to make it as easy as possible for you. The best thing you can do for yourself is get yourself an offer, apply for free. Maybe you're toying with the idea. Maybe you're not sure. You're like, you know what? September is a far ways away. I have no idea what's happening in the world next week. How am I supposed to make a decision for September? That's a normal thing to feel right now. Everybody feels that way. So take advantage of us paying for your application. Come on in, let us help you apply. We'll cover the $95 fee, and we will also get an offer to you. And that way, you can choose to accept that offer. You can choose to do what you like with that offer. It's totally up to you. But at least get up to that point where you have the choice to attend classes in school, and let us help you get there for free. So to do that, you can text us, 1-844-LAMPTON. You can email us, info@lambtoncollege.ca. We also, tomorrow night from 4 to 6 p.m., have an application drive night where you can apply for free. All you have to do is join a Microsoft Teams meeting, and the link is on our website under our calendar. If you go to lambtoncollege.ca, scroll down a bit, you're going to see an event calendar. Click the application night and hop on into a Teams call. We'll pay for your $95 application fee. We'll get you applied. We'll do all that kind of cool stuff for free tomorrow from 4 to 6 p.m. And if you can't join, no worries. That's not your only opportunity. Shoot us a text, give us an email, 1-844-LAMPTON. LambtonCollege.ca is where you're going to find this info as well. And then info@lambtoncollege.ca goes right to me and Logan and some other dudes and girls that we work with. And we're just here to help you get the info that you need and get you set up with free applications. So take advantage of that. Great question. Yeah. Any more questions? All right, another one. Do we get electronic devices by the college? So good question, loaded question this year. So yes. Normally, yes. So this entire tour, we've been looking at it from the perspective of going back to a normal school year. Once again, we do not know what September looks like. No official decision has been made yet. We have not made an announcement as to what September is going to look like for our students. I don't think any schools have made an official decision yet because we're all flying by the seat of our pants on this one. But we do know that our students are going to be as safe as possible. And no matter what the reality is, we are going to make the decision that leads to our students being as safe as they possibly can. We know that that's going to happen no matter what. So if that means that classes open up in a staggered effect, we go back to in-person classes, or we're in a situation where we're in a similar spot to what we are right now, which we're working under the same protocols that we started way back in March or April, I guess, when things started becoming official. Anyways, devices, getting back to that. In a normal school year, yes, we have devices that students can rent out for free, laptops, iPads, audiovisual equipment, all that kind of stuff. Yes, there are devices you can rent out. You can do so actually right in front of me, which is the library. This is the Library Resource Center. And at that desk, you can see over here, boop, boop, boop. Trying to, yep, anyways, right by my hand, somewhere around there. That's the front desk of the library, and that's normally where you'd rent those devices from. You can let them know what you need, and they'll get you hooked up. Currently, that's taking place through our IT department because the demand has increased so much with online and virtual learning. So IT is looking after device rental right now. But when we are back to something resembling normal, and hopefully that's at some point in the near future here, that front desk in the library is where you're going to access all of those electronic devices and just let them know what you need. I take a long time to answer really simple questions. I realize that. Is there any other questions? And thank you so much. Cool. Yeah, we got another one coming in. Great. Liam, what are the top programs at Lambton College in your opinion? Ooh, Liam, that's a fun one to answer. All of them. Yeah. No, they're all good. Honestly, one thing I like to preface this question with, because I get it all the time, is this is a safety of the Ontario public college system, and Lambton definitely adheres to that. In order for us to run a program, in order for us to have full-time students studying in a certain area, we have to meet certain outcomes and certain goals. We have to ensure that this is a real thing. There are jobs available. So with that being said, in order for these programs that we run in a full-time manner to be able to be approved, is our students have to be getting a skill set that leads to a job. So to start with that, yes, All of our programs have fantastic outcomes. Some of them are stronger than others because the natural way that the employment and labor market goes is some of them are competitive. When you're looking at different areas like perhaps paramedic work or something along those lines, there's a lot of people who want to do that and are graduating from programs that are similar, albeit at a little bit of a lower standpoint as far as skills learned than ours offers our students. But if you're asking me what my favorite programs to talk about are that we have some of the most unique opportunities with, the first one I usually point to is chemical production power engineering technology, because we are the only school that offers that. It's an amazing program that leads to a very stable position within local industry, especially the refinery sector, which happens in Sarnia. We're home to 47% of Canada's petrochemical industry. Chemical production power engineering technology is built from a demand specifically from nearly half of Canada's oil and gas refinery producers, which are located local to us. That program comes from them. They said, we need this worker. We need them. They're going to get paid really well. And they worked with us to develop this program that we are the only ones to offer in the province. Graduates from that program also receive their 4th class power engineering certificate certified by the TSSA. And that allows graduates to work anywhere where a TSSA certified power engineer is required. So that's the first one I usually point at. Firefighting is by far one of our biggest programs that we offer, because we are home to Canada's largest live fire training facility. We're the biggest in the entire country as far as facility space goes. We are also the only college in Ontario that offers an advanced diploma in fire science technology. So we're the only place in the entire province you can learn and gain an advanced diploma in fire science technology. I like to think of those two programs, the first being pre-service firefighter pre-service firefighter education and training, PFET for short. I like to think of that as year 1, and then year 2 is fire science technology. And if you do both of those years, you're going to be put a mile ahead of any other graduate finishing a PFET program from across the province. There are 12 colleges in the province that offer pre-service firefighter education and training. We're one of those 12. We're amongst the least expensive. We also have the largest facility and offer the most amount of hands-on training for PFET students. Then we are the only ones who have a fire science technology program. So far, CPET, PFET, fire, these are all program codes. Chemical production power engineering, pre-service firefighter education and training, fire science technology, amazing programs that we have. Nursing, I can go on and on. This is gonna, honestly, I'm probably gonna put you to sleep, because I honestly, genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, think that most of the programs we offer have a major advantage for our students who finish them, especially when we're looking at those fields like firefighting, power engineering, chemical production power engineering, nursing. We have a 42-bed simulation hospital. One of the biggest schools in Ontario that you think about when it comes to nursing at college, whether it's a collaborative BSCN program or a practical nursing program, not too far from us, an hour away, big city in London. They have, from my understanding, about 6 beds. We have 42. It's a big night and day difference. I said this at the beginning of the tour. I had a group from the Schulich School of Medicine at Western University becoming it was a doctorate group, MD students were coming through. They were running a tour like a camp type thing to get some volunteer hours throughout their summer term. And they came through our facility for part of their experience. They were blown away at what we have to offer our students. They couldn't believe that this was taking place at a college, let alone a small college, because our facilities were bigger and more technologically advanced than what they learned to become doctors in, what they learned in their practice hospitals at the Schulich School of Medicine. That was a humbling moment for me, but that also tells me the strength and breadth of skills that our students learn in Bachelor of Science in Nursing and practical nursing and paramedic and personal support worker, all of these areas. Last program I'll mention, last one here, is Millwright. We have many, many others that I'm a huge fan of, and I'd love to tell you more about them. And we're going to talk about how you can contact me for info on those here. But Millwright is a really unique one. It's offered at a few different places. However, we are one of the only schools, if not the only, I'd have to double check, that offer a 2-year diploma in Millwright Mechanical Technician. We also offer in that program all 3 levels of your ministry approved apprenticeship training. That's a huge advantage for you as a future millwright to get employment as an apprentice, because your employer knows that they're never going to send you back to work, or sorry, send you back to school for your ministry approved apprenticeship training. You are done that. So when you get hired as an apprentice, you finish out your apprenticeship program, your apprenticeship with them, and then you move on to your journey person title. You never go back to trade school, and employers want to hire you because that's an advantage that you have. That's a way that they're going to save money by hiring you, keeping you working, as opposed to somebody that they have to send to trade school 3 times. You also get 3 out of your 4 levels in Alberta. We are the only school that gives you ministry approved apprenticeship training in Millwright in another province. There's one extra level added in Alberta. You have to complete that extra level, but we give you 3 out of 4 here in our Ontario program. This week, I spoke to 2 students who are making the trip from Alberta to Sarnia to take Millwright with us because of that. That's a huge move. That's not close. You know, we're not exactly a walking distance or a driving distance or even like a train distance away from Alberta. That's a big trip, and those people are making the trip here to take that program because of the advantages our Millwright program offers our graduates. There's many others. Honestly, genuinely believe that most of the programs that we offer, if not all of them, have a major advantage for graduates finishing here compared to any other school out there. But I'm biased, you can tell, because I'm wearing a shirt with their logo on it. I was also a student here, but I took a program here before I got hired here for a reason. And I'd love to tell you about that. Shoot me an email, info@lambtoncollege.ca. If I just talked about a program that was not one that you are looking at and you want to hear about your program, email me at info@lambtoncollege.ca. Text me at 1-844-LAMPTON. That's what we're here for. That's what we do. I'm here to answer those questions. So please, let me know what program you're interested in, and I'll tell you. Yeah. Questions, keep them flying. Eric's being our moderator here. Let me know when they're coming through. Will we receive an email when residence applications are open? Yes. So if you've applied to a program, Kale, you should receive an email. As far as I know, that's regular practice. You can also hop on lambtoncollege.ca/residence. Just type that in, lambtoncollege.ca/residence. You're going to see an apply now button on there. I think it's active. I don't know. I haven't checked it this week. Last week it was not. I have not checked it this week. But that's going to be opening up real soon here if it isn't. And if you've applied to a program, we are going to let you know. So yes. And if you haven't applied, let us know, because we will pay for your application. $95 it costs to apply to school. But if you let us know you're applying and you get at us before you apply, we can cover that through a voucher code. It's like a coupon code that we work with you to get, and we'll get that in front of you, and you can get your $95 application fee waived through that code. To do that, contact us, info@lambtoncollege.ca, 1-844-LAMPTON. You can also attend tomorrow night's application drive, which is from 4 to 6 p.m. on Microsoft Teams. We have a link on our website. Perhaps, Logan, if you're still here, if you want to post that up, that would be great for tomorrow night's application night. Any other questions? Yeah. All right, Burro. I hope I said your name right. I am enrolling in 2022 of September. When should I apply? I'm an international student, by the way. So I'm not super privy on that process. I wish I was. I'm sorry. I wish I could help you more. But we have a whole team of people that look after our international student applicants. So I recommend shooting an email over to international@lambtoncollege.ca. Real straightforward, international@lambtoncollege.ca. That's going to put your email and your request in front of a team of liaisons that look after all of our international students. The process for international students is very different than that for a domestic student. I'm knowledgeable in the domestic area. So that would be permanent residents, Canadian citizens, land refugee claimants. That's generally the grouping that we look at with domestic students. And if you're studying under a student visa, that makes you an international student, and that you need to contact international@lambtoncollege.ca. But they will help you out. So, yep, I don't know if you can apply yet, but shoot an email, international@lambtoncollege.ca, and you are well on your way. Cool. Great. Well, I think that's all the questions we have. If there's any others, let me know. We are going to wrap things up. The one thing that I didn't show are two areas, because we were talking about quite a few questions there. One is counseling. I'm going to whip down there because it's right around the corner. It's not far at all here. So we're just going to go see that so you know where it is. And counseling is here for a whole bunch of different reasons. It's home to our health and wellness center. So we have a doctor on duty 1 day a week, a nurse here 5 days a week. They're also here for academic counseling and personal counseling. So if you want to speak with a counselor for academic needs or personal needs, that's what they're here for. It's a team of super friendly people here for your success, here for your health, both physical, mental, and academic. Their office is right behind me under that gold sign, right in front of the front doors, right beside our library. Once again, nurse here 5 days a week, doctor here once a week, appointments for physiotherapists and I believe psychiatrists once a month by appointment. But let them know what you need, whether it's academic counseling, personal counseling, health related. If you want to see a doctor or a nurse, that's cool too. And then the last thing I want to show off here is a desk, but it's a pretty important desk, and you can see it right Where's my finger? Right there. Awesome. That is our tutoring desk. We offer free tutoring for our students. So if you want to get a tutor, pop into that desk, let them know. If you are in a second year or a third year of your program and you want to become a tutor, let them know. They're paid positions. Looks really good on your resume. Gets you money in your pocket. So if you want to become a tutor, pop into that desk. If you want to hire a tutor or get some tutoring help, it's free for you as a student, up to 10 hours per semester, sometimes more if needed. But let them know what you need, and you can do so right at that desk over there. And in the meantime, if you want to get set up with a tutor, email lrc@lambtoncollege.ca, and they can set up a virtual tutor for you completely free, once again. Awesome. That is our tour for the day. Oh, strange. Okay, I'm just receiving word from our moderator, Eric, that there's an issue with our forms link. You should be able to just click it and fill it out. That's normally how it works. And we tested it before we put it up and it was working. So I hope nothing too much has changed, but that's okay. If you are trying to fill out our Microsoft form for the $50 Amazon gift card right now, first of all, thank you. Second of all, if you're unable to do it, email me at info@lambtoncollege.ca. Be like, hey, it's Sam. I was in the live tour and I tried to fill out the form for the Amazon gift card. It didn't work. Let me know, shoot me an email, and we'll get you the correct link once it's fixed. So if you aren't able to fill out that form, that's okay. Let us know. info@lambtoncollege.ca. We'll email you the form once it gets repaired. You should be able to access it. Maybe try on a different device. I know that's a lame response, but maybe try that. I don't know. Might work. It was working before this. But anyways, worst case scenario, fill it out. Try and give it a shot. Fill it out. Open it on a phone if you need to. I know it works on multiple devices. Okay, that's good to know. Okay, so if anybody's having troubles with that Microsoft form, totally cool. Shoot us an email. We're going to get you we'll get you one this afternoon or tomorrow. So yes, thank you for letting us know that form is maybe not working for some people out there and are running into a login issue. So yes, just email info@lambtoncollege.ca. We're going to get you that form. And I apologize about that, but you will get your chance to win a $50 Amazon gift card, and just let us know that you're interested in doing so, and I'll send you the form. Perfect. So that's a good workaround. All right. That is the tour. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us today. If you have any questions, if you want to apply for free, if you want to discuss something with me or maybe a faculty member or their program coordinator, or you want to talk about money, or if you want to talk about anything at all related to college, let us know. info@lambtoncollege.ca, 1-844-LAMPTON. We're here to help. That's one thing I really love about the school, especially if you're doing this right now as a student and looking at other schools out there and you are here right now. Thank you so much for being here. And hopefully you've got to see what makes Lambton unique. And it's a really, really friendly, easy place to get the help you need and get the best education possible in the province. So thank you so much for coming. Email us, text us, call us. I would absolutely love to have a conversation with you in the future. We are going to be doing these every 2 weeks. Our next one is 2 weeks from now. We are going to have a fire school tour in the very near future. We are also going to have a recorded residence tour in the very near future. So stay tuned for that. And if you haven't applied, do so. $95. But don't worry, we're going to cover that for you. Just shoot me an email and I will pay for that fee for you. Okay, everybody, I'm going to end it here. Thank you so much. I am Brady. I am saying goodbye. Thank you for joining us for the tour. I hope I get to see you. I hope I get to chat with you in the future, and have a fantastic day. It's really warm out. Pop your head outside. This is the first time I went outside in like 3 days on my way here. Yeah, I know. I'm a sad boy. Anyways, but it's great. So go outside today. It's really nice. Okay, bye everybody. Have a good day.